Le vénérable Red Fisher a été intronisé au temple de la renommée du hockey en 1985. Il fait partie du panel. Good evening, Red.
Comment ça va, Monsieur Fournier?
Very good, Red. Great talking to you. I miss you. Well, you know, we're used to seeing you all the time, twice a week or something, on la salle Jacques Beauchamp, and now no more.
Well, it's a pretty sad situation. I don't have to explain to anybody how sad it is, but I've got to tell you, Ron, I'm not sorry for the owners. I'm not sorry for the players. The only people I'm sorry for are
fans.
Those great Canadian fans, who have to do without the game, and it just doesn't make any sense at all, but they're the only people that I'm sorry for.
That's right. Red qui dit que lui, il est triste non pas pour les propriétaires ou les joueurs, il est triste pour les partisans qui méritent mieux. I was just talking to Scotty Bowman, and Scotty said, well, I'm not alone in choosing Bobby Orr. Even if Gretz is the number one in the magazine, I'm not the only one. But I reminded him that I also picked Bobby Orr as the number one. What are your reasons?
Well, as you know, I picked Bobby Orr number one, and I was delighted to see that you had picked him. As a matter of fact, the first five players that I picked are the first five that you picked.
Oh, really? I didn't know. Good.
So great minds think alike. Bobby Orr, let's put it this way. My one regret in covering the National Hockey League and the Canadians in particular, of course, for 58 years, is that I wasn't able to see Bobby Orr for a full season. I mean, he is, without question, I don't have to tell you or any of your many thousands of listeners, how many great players that I've covered with the Canadians. I mean, you just name them. You can name 25 of them without even blinking.
That's right.
Bobby Orr is the best player I have ever seen, and I would have loved to cover him for an entire season. He pulled me out of my seats more often than any player that I've ever covered, which is saying an awful lot when you think of people like Billy Vaux and the Rockets and the Pockets and Mickey Moore and Cornway and Jeffrey, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Bobby Orr was one of a kind, and on the ice and off the ice, he still is. Because when I retired on July the 6th, and retired happily, by the way, Bobby Orr called me twice.
No, really, he did, huh?
You know, you talk about a classy individual along with being a supremely talented player, supremely talented athlete. Bobby Orr is far and away the best I've ever seen.
Red qui parle de Bobby Orr, qui dit que lorsqu'il a pris sa retraite, lui, Red Fisher, après, de nombreuses années, il a reçu un appel le 6 juillet dernier de Bobby Orr, juste pour dire quel genre de bonhomme c'est. Puis, il n'y a pas un joueur, dans tous les joueurs que Red Fisher a vus, il n'y a pas un gars qui a fait soulever de son siège plus souvent que Bobby Orr. Now, Wayne Gretzky, he played almost 1,500 games. I mean, you placed him before Mario, so did I. That's another guy that was outstanding. He said to me earlier, he said, Ronnie, I was fortunate. I played with great teams, great hockey players, the Coreys and the Messier and those guys, and so many good guys. And he said, well, I just did what I had to do, but these guys helped me out a lot. There's more to that, though.
Well, there's no question about that, and as you and all of your listeners know, that Lemieux didn't have the Coreys and the Messier and people like that. How many goals would he have scored if he did have that kind of support? But those things happen in hockey. But certainly Lemieux is right on. He's a 6'4" Wayne Gretzky,
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Marvelous player and a great player to watch.
The trickiest question I ever had asked was this one. I'm going to ask you the same question. I know you're going to have an opinion on that, and then I'll let you go. Here it is. Ronnie, if you want a guy for a full season, who do you take, Wayne or Mario? And if you want a guy for one game, one specific playoff game, a 7th game in the playoffs and finals, which guy do you want? My answer was Wayne for the full year, and Mario for the last game, important 7th game. What do you think?
I love Wayne Gretzky, along with millions of hockey fans, but I would take Mario Lemieux
on both occasions. Both. You take him on. You take him on.
I would. If you had to have someone out there who
is
going to score the big goal for you in as brilliant a fashion as you can ever imagine, it's Mario Lemieux. No question in my mind. I'm not taking
nothing away.
Would never take anything away from Wayne Gretzky with the numbers that he's put on the board over the years.
That's right.
But he did have all that help, and Lemieux was just a one-man gang.
Yeah. Let me ask you one thing before I leave you. Important. Are you going to write the odd article at the Gazette sometimes when something happens and this and that, and are you still going to sit down and make his dream some days, or is it all over, kaput forever? I mean, no, don't tell me it's forever.
As we speak, I do not plan to do any freelance work at all.
Okay.
I mean, I've been so fortunate over the years.
Yeah, I know.
Here's a guy who, in the first 5 years of covering the Canadians, they won the Stanley Cup. In the first 20 years, they won 12 Stanley Cups. All right? I've covered them for 17 Stanley Cups.
I know.
Going back to 93. Now here, 20 years have passed and they haven't won anything.
I know.
And may have to wait another 20 years the way things are going.
Yeah.
But, no, I don't plan to do any more writing. You can never say never. If the Gazette really felt it was important for me to get my opinion and to write something about something that develops in the league, I might do it, but there are no promises.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good enough, but they'll call you. They have to call you. And then I'll call you. If they don't call you, I'll call you. Okay, I love you, Red. You take care of yourself. I appreciate good work in that magazine. And you know what? Your piece on Jacques is plot is just an artwork.
It's a lovely, bright-looking, well-produced magazine.
Yes, it is.
I received it in the mail along with the 9 other people who were selectors, including Mr. Fournier. Yeah. And I was very pleased and impressed with the final product. And thank you for calling.
Well, coming from you.
Good luck to all of your many, many listeners.
Yeah, thank you very much. Coming from you, thanks a lot. And you take care. Good health.
Merci.
Merci beaucoup, Red. Bye. Red Fisher qui dit que, écoutez, les 5 premières, moi j'ai été 5 premières années que j'ai fait la couverture du hockey du Canadien, 5 Coupes Stanley. Dans les 20 premières années, 12 Coupes Stanley. J'en ai eu 17 en 24 ans. Moi, en année, j'ai connu 20 ans sans maudite Coupe Stanley. Il dit là, c'était le temps que je dise en mois de juillet, bye, c'est fini, tout fini. Et c'est tout fini pour de bon, pour le Red Fisher. Dans toute la Ligue nationale de hockey, il n'y en a pas un vénérable, un vétéran comme lui. Il n'y en a pas un qui a mis autant d'années, qui est encore là il y a à peine quelques mois. On le salue et on le remercie.